Hey everybody, Chris Eggleston here from GravityRanger.com, and this video is coming to you because of I'm grateful. So if you do a lot of form building or a lot of support, like I do for Gravity Forms users, there are a couple functionality plugins that you might like to add to your arsenal. And these don't necessarily need to be enabled at all times. For example, I recently built a form for a client. It was a pretty complex form, required a lot of fields and a lot of organizing and a lot of strategizing and reorganizing and editing. And to really simplify that process, I became very dependent on a couple of plugins that made my life much easier in the editor and just in the overall building process. And one of those I want to point out right now is called Gravity Hopper. And Gravity Hopper adds a ton of functionality to the editor. And one of my favorites, you'll see here, is it obviously adds, you can see here a couple of options, but one of my favorites is this red exclamation mark. So this form, for example, was probably imported from a support request. And so once it was imported, I instantly can see that this form has a couple of plugins that I don't have installed or activated that are needed. And that's what that red exclamation mark indicates. It's integrity. Okay, so basically this form has some things that I don't have enabled in order that they require it to function the way that it's supposed to. So if I go in to edit this form, you'll see again the red exclamation mark here saying, hey, you're missing something. So to see what I'm missing, I just click on this exclamation mark and it takes me to the integrity settings. And I can basically see this required plugins are Gravity Perks Inventory and Gravity Perks Limited Choices. Okay, so I have limit choices enabled, so I could activate that, or I have it installed. I don't have it activated. If I had it activated, I wouldn't have this issue. But I could just click here and it'll activate the plugin for me. But this one I have to get the plugin. So this is likely going to redirect me to Gravity Perks so that I can get the plugin. So again, super awesome, because a lot of cases I don't know what the user's using when they built their form, and if I don't have all the right information, I may not be able to support them the way they need. So in this case, that integrity feature is super helpful, and I've become dependent on Gravity Hopper for a couple of other reasons, and let me go ahead and show you why that is. If we go back to the editor here, you'll notice these little gray boxes. These are not default Gravity forms. You'll also notice that I can see the form ID right up here at the top, which Gravity Forms removed in version 2.5. So it's just adding some really cool stuff. So it's showing me the field ID, which I can just see without having to click on the field. If you click on the field, you're going to see your field ID over here. But if I just want an overview of everything, everything's right here. Okay, this little icon indicates that this field has conditional logic enabled and it's conditionally contingent. This tells me what kind of field it is. Okay, just quickly so that I again don't have to click on it to see. Okay, so this is the name field. This is a drop down field. This is a radio button field. This is a product. This is a checkbox field. A name field, radio, product, checkbox, name, radio, product. So, it just makes it so much easier. And if you think that the issue is related to conditional logic that you're trying to figure out, or, maybe some of your logic's broken, you can easily come in here and check things out. And if you click on that conditional logic, it's going to give you this little pop out to show you what logic is configured. So you don't have to click into it, open up the conditional logic and look at it. You can just see everything from right here in the editor. So again, it's just a super beneficial tool if you're editing, building lots of forms, big forms, or supporting customers, whatever. One other feature I really like is this one right here. This allows you to kind of minimize the fields. So when you click on that, it minimizes the fields and brings them all into just these sections. Okay, so instead of everything being shown like your options, it's just pretty much the name field or the label, and then your icons. So you can still see what everything is without actually having to see everything. So I know that this is a checkbox, so there's some options. Okay, so and if I don't need to drill down into a field, I don't need to. But again, if you've got a lot of fields, like this one has quite a few fields, then this just makes it easier to get through your form, to navigate it, to move things around, as opposed to having these just sections that you have to climb through because you've got, your checkbox fields, your radio fields, and all these details displayed. This just sums everything up into pretty much just the field label and the details. And so those are probably my favorite functions of Gravity Hopper. I've got a link below this video where you can go check out Gravity Hopper, because again, if you are building a lot of forms or managing forms or trying to fix forms, whatever it is, like if you spend a lot of time in Gravity Forms, then this plugin will save you a ton of time, add a ton of value to what you're doing. So it's definitely worth checking out. So I hope you do that. Again, I got a link below this video where you can go check out Gravity Hopper, and would love to hear what you think about it, if you find it valuable for what you're doing. But until next time, we will see you soon.